It's a bluffing card game where the idea is to get rid of all your cards, a little bit like for all the other players. And you can do that by lying or telling the truth. And if you get caught out lying, there's consequences. I like to call it a bluffing game with poop. Essentially, the other players appear as farm animals. They've got their cards there. You can't see what they're playing. So essentially, the core gameplay is that one of the players puts down a few cards and makes a claim. So they might put down 2 cards and say, that's 2 queens. Now, you could be looking at your cards and you've got 3 queens. And you're thinking, no, they could be lying. So you can call them out by just tapping on the bull and calling out their lie. Where the game gets a bit more interesting, it's the introduction of wildcards. So wildcards essentially give you superpowers. So there's like simple ones like the distract card, which you can play against another player and force them to skip a turn, making their goal and winning their cards harder. There's another one where you can give 3 of your cards to another player. And there's even ones like Nuke, where you can destroy all the cards that are currently in play, or the X-ray card, where you can actually see what another person is playing temporarily to call out their lies. So there's all sorts of like things that keep on mixing up the main core dynamic and making it like all the levels a challenge. I had been considering getting back into game development. I actually used to write a lot of games as a kid, just for fun. And I was sitting after work with a friend talking about developing a game, and I really wanted to develop a card game called 500. But I quickly realized that a game called called Cheat, or otherwise known as Bullshit, adapted much better as a casual card game to pick up and play online. So I went down that path, and then because the game's called Bullshit, well, it was called Bullshit, it's now called Bullcrap, but it just seemed natural to set the game in a farm with farm animals and a bull that actually shits. So that's how it evolved. I first started it back in 2019, and life was a bit different back then. And I actually went to PAX in 2019 with a basic prototype, and the reception there was really good. But looking back at that prototype, it was very buggy. But since then, the game just keeps on evolving. I had this mentality, and I don't know if other developers are like this or not, but I just want to keep on making it better and better. So I keep on improving it. So even in the last year, probably the biggest change to the game in the last year is the look. The animals just keep on getting cuter and cuter and cuter. and the main way I've done that is essentially by making their eyes rounder and bigger, and the pupils more dilated and a bit more shiny. So it just keeps on getting better and better. And I've added other things this past year as well, like team play with multiplayer and being able to find friends online and playing with them and all sorts of stuff. So it's constantly changing and improving. Something that did happen early on in the development of the game as well is in the first year of development, I actually was diagnosed with bowel cancer. It came as a bit of a shock, and thankfully they discovered it early, and I had an operation and chemo. But that did affect game development. Like initially when I was doing chemo, I was taking my laptop in and sitting there and working on the game, and the nurses would be saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'd just turn my laptop around and go, "This is bullcrap." But getting towards the end of treatment, I just it took me a long time before I could actually pick things up again and find the drive to do it as well. But I'm glad that I did it. I think towards the end of treatment, I almost felt like giving up, but I got back on the horse slowly and persevered. All this was happening during COVID as well, so it's a crazy time. But once I felt better, got the game out there. I went to PAX in 2023 and showcased the game where it was then, and it was the reception there was great again. So that just drove me even further. It's been a bit of a long journey. I feel like I'm a lot more appreciative of things now, and I think I've got a bit of a new perspective on life, which is good. Because it's such a fun computer game, I've actually also done a version of the game in IRL. But I've essentially done up our cards for the game, but with our wild cards and our rules. And I've been developing that on the side as well, but my primary focus has been on the computer game rather than this. So this next update, the animals are even cuter again. Next update has a whole new look and feel about it. The cards, the effects all look great. But over the next few months, I've got a series of major updates to the menu layout, the way that challenges it, and also the training as well. I've got a cute little bunny called Trixie, which is going to walk you through how to play the game.
What is your go-to caffeinated beverage when working on the game?
Well, every morning I wake up to a big cup of Bullcrap.